The ones to give birth to the new generation of prophets, cause it's ladies.
I break into a lyrical freestyle. Grab the mic, look at the crowd and see smiles, cause they see a woman standing up on her own too. Sloppy slouching is something I won't do. Some think that we can't flow. Stereotypes, they got to go. I'ma mess around and flip the scene into reverse.
With what?
With a little touch of ladies first.
Queen Latifah is a rapper, actress, singer, songwriter, film producer and talk show host from New Jersey. She released her debut album in 1989 at the age of 19. And between all the many different things that she has been doing in her life commercially, she has still managed to release 7 albums. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was Queen Latifah's first album, and it's my first listen to this album. I do know of her, and I think I've probably heard songs by her before. I have seen her act. I can't remember what in, as an actress. I've kind of always respected and kind of liked her from afar, but not kind of got really into her. So there are a couple of reasons why I've liked her. One of them is, it particularly comes through when I've seen her act, but it does come through in her music as well, is that she has a kind of presence that I find I like. It's confident without being annoying, and it's kind of dignified somehow, and I don't know why I think that. And when I've seen her act, she always seems to be, just trying to suppress a smile. As if, she always sees the joke. I've always liked that about her. Okay. The other thing is that I respect the fact that she doesn't feel the need to be hypersexual in order to get attention. In fact, she's quite straightforward in that sense. So I like that, obviously, too. Right. So let's get into some description. This has been described as Golden Age hip hop by Wikipedia. I would say it's definitely hip hop with rap, and it's 1989, so this does fit in apparently with the timing of it being Golden Age, but I'm not really sure what all the different ages are, the stages of hip hop. I know that there's old school and new school, and then I think that was old school, new school, Golden Age. But I could well be wrong on that. To me, this sounds like a few years earlier than it is. And what do I know, given that it's hip-hop? But it sounds like the sort of things that were emerging in hip-hop around about kind of the middle of the 80s, 85, 86, I think. Maybe even 84. I can't remember when the message was, but kind of around that sort of time. It has that kind of sound to it. And I guess, we're only a few years away from that. There's definitely a lot of sample stuff going on here, and what I presume are sample beats. Looking through the credits of who's involved, there's a lot of producers, but there is a bassist in here, and I think I could probably kind of looking back in my mind's ear, I can hear there's some decent bass in there as well. As well as it being hip hop, there are some kind of stylistic elements that come in. There's a couple of tracks that have a kind of reggae thing to it. There's one that is just particularly emphasized by having some people doing like Jamaican patois stuff. Again, kind of the sort of thing that was around in the 80s. Apparently, Queen Latifah herself said that there's reggae and there's jazz and there's house in here. I can kind of hear some of the jazz. I really wouldn't be able to tell you what the difference is between house and hip hop, although kind of I expect house to be more dance oriented and more instrumental. So anyway, the production for it is one of the reasons why it sounds earlier than this, is that because it sounds a bit scrappy in the production. They just haven't. It isn't quite as kind of slick, and definitely there are bits where bits of the samples are kind of tripping over each other and into the same kind of area of the sonic space, that it kind of just sounds a bit confused at times. Musically, generally, I would say So some hip hop, I would say, is definitely kind of below neutral. I'd feel negative about it. Some hip hop musically, I would say, is above neutral, which is usually when it's kind of got more funk oriented, and usually when there's more musical backing and there's real instruments involved. This, I would say, is slightly better than neutral for me in terms of how much I enjoy it musically. The rapping, again, I feel like it's a little bit. It feels like quite early style flow to me. It's quite easy to hear what's going on. It's fairly slow. There's a minimum of bad words in here. In fact, there's definitely a minimum of messages that I have any difficulty with in here, which I seem to be talking a lot about recently. Most of it's kind of vague, but some of it is the kind of "I'm the best rapper" stuff, which is very traditional. Or some of it is kind of where she's including other people in that. Some of it's about feminine pride, some of it's about women's issues and that sort of thing as well. Now, here's the shocker, which is that I actually quite like the rapping on this album. I'm known for not liking a lot of rap, not liking a lot of hip hop actually, but I like the attitude of this, and I quite like the way it comes. It kind of bizarrely, because it feels older, it's got a feeling of nostalgia. So I think what happened with me with hip hop and rap was that, so when I'm talking about the mid 80s, I was actually at university at that point. I discovered rap, and there was a big kind of explosion of people going, yeah, this is brilliant, this is great. And I was kind of along with that until Gangster came along, and then I suddenly got really turned off rap, and so kind of went away from it, decided rap is not for me. So I'm kind of, hopefully opening my mind a little bit, freeing my mind, and listened to the rap, and quite liked it. And it has that, especially when Queen Latifah's doing the rapping, because there are quite a few guests involved in here. It does have that kind of presence that she has, which is almost like she's got that little smile going on in there, and I like that. So it's cool. So overall, for hip hop, my response is pretty good to this. I quite like it. And I'd love to know what you think of it. So please talk to me through the comments box. That's it from me for now.
It's a fact, I'm a test. You mess around, I'll arrest you. I ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the best you ever hear coming from a female MC, but you know what I mean. This MC stands for microphone commando. When I command that you take a hand and throw it up in the air. Yeah, just like that. Now chill and watch me rap, cause I'm